there's me, of course. Guess we will have everybody join us shortly. But thought I'd go ahead and kick it open and give you guys an update. Sherry is recovering. It was kind of tough because, of course, the same incision was cut open twice. And can you imagine being cut open twice, cutting half twice in your life? It's tough, but she's doing good. She's trying to keep her spirits up. Had some bumpy spaces here and there. She's basically got to go through healing from the transplant all over again. She was not able to do Ask Sherry this week, but I think you might see her on Monday. Don't quote me on that just yet. I know I've put something out there so you guys would know she's still in recovery mode on Monday, but she probably will be back this coming Monday. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how she feels. And I'll message out into the community and chat there. Of course, if you're finding us here from either Facebook or if you're coming from YouTube and subscribe to us there, I definitely make sure that you guys have the updates. So I know right now we've got about 12 people watching, and I know we've got a couple of gentlemen that are going to be joining us here shortly, and I'll be letting them in, but we're going to do a men's soul chat, which we haven't done in a while, but I felt this feeling coming out of the last retrograde that it's much needed. There's still a lot of speculation over the person you're connected to, and kind of wanted to continue to give up, gain insight in that space, because it's really hard to have connection with somebody who wants to think for you or tell you what you think and what you feel. It's really a challenge. And then, your need to either be right about the way that somebody thinks about you, or your need to want to tell yourself a story about why you're not together, or why they're not paying attention to you, or why they have you blocked. It really is a very important point that if you're not open to letting them communicate their truth to you, or even if they do communicate their truth, you twist it somehow. That's not fair. But I believe it happens on both ends. I don't believe it's just one-sided, but it seems to be more of, even if you're in the feminine and you're in a masculine design, you kind of go off of the cues of, they'll get how I'm feeling by paying attention to how I'm reacting to them. And that's always where speculation and expectation cause the most harm. So we're going to kind of talk about that today, but we're going to kind of just talk in general. So if you guys have comments or questions, please feel free to post. I will be reading those. I know that we have a couple people joining us. See here, hi, Grand. I think you retracted your message, but thank you guys for joining the live chat, or at least joining us here today. Of course, this will be up for the replay for a little bit, and we'll make sure that this is out there. Because I know you guys miss you guys a little bit of Lee and Sherry. And Lee and Sherry definitely need and miss you guys as well. So hopefully we'll have some people joining us here. Let me send some messages and find out where everybody is. So, connection. How did everybody get through the last retrograde? Was it bumpy? Was it fun? Did you get anything from it? Did you experience any openness? Looks like got some people coming. Let's see. I can't, that might work. Okay, Carlos, thank you. Well, let's look and see if anyone's got questions here. Is this chat only for men? No. The video is. I mean, you'll have men all on the panel here, but no, everybody can. If you want to join, you can. I can put the link up if that's what you would like to do. Be more than happy to have more people in here. The more, the better. This is about connection. So it's going to be about the encountering of the person you're connected to, or what your actual experience is like when you run into this kind of connection from the masculine design. But, there are a lot of masculine out there with the feminine know-how to connect, but not the masculine know-how to connect. There's kind of a teaching that's going on that's keeping us from being connected to each other. So, what would be better than just to put this out here and just talk about it? So Grand, if you want to join, I can post the link. Just let me know and I'll post the Zoom link in here and feel free to join. Carlos is at work, so he won't be joining us. I believe we have Dio coming, and I believe we also have, who else was saying they were coming? Omar will definitely be here. I think that might be it. I believe Clinton said he won't be able to make it, but we'll miss you, Clinton. I'm sure we'll get to catch up soon. I haven't been able to catch up for a minute. Been a lot going on with all of us, I'm sure. So, what questions do we have out there? Anybody got anything? Because you got me for at least the next 50 minutes. Then I've got to work. So, it's all about connection. And I'm open to answering or talking about what the experience was like. I'm noticing more and more that there's still a lot left for us to tell. So I've been kind of contemplating adding to our journey, like from episode 1, maybe in episode 1.5 for the information we didn't talk about. We've talked about a lot of different things that we probably should be talking about, but at the time it wasn't there. But I believe the time is now. Coming together was not easy. And I think a lot of people, when they stumble onto this and they watch our journey and they watch what we went through, believe that we knew that we were going to be together. I think that feeling was there, but I don't think the thought patterns were there. I believe the way that we thought about how we were going to come together was keeping us from actually coming together. We just didn't follow the natural law of paying attention to how we feel and just letting it happen. That's kind of what we're all up against, right? You can't allow somebody to connect to you because your head or your thinking is just too busy making sure that they won't, or has to do it a specific kind of way. A lot of people say that this connection is romanticized. Okay, I can see why that would happen. But wouldn't it be more romanticized if they included the hurt and the pain that you should add to the connection, not take away from it? You can grow up and not really ever let anybody connect to how you feel or connect to how you think. And then this connection comes along and it disrupts that natural pattern in you to do that. And you think the other person knows that somewhere inside they can actually feel what you really feel. But you have to really pay attention to how you learn how to hide yourself in connection. Because unfortunately, that's the blind spot we all have. We all think everybody's just naturally who they are with us is how they're going to be with us, because we don't really share our pain. We really don't share our hurt. But I guess ask yourself that one question. Would you let anybody connect to you if they didn't share their pain or their hurt with you, or they didn't allow you to share your pain and hurt with them? And I believe a lot of it turns into confrontation because we want to blame somebody for what's hurt us. We want to blame, our parents for what happened, or why we don't trust connection. That's not, it is the path, but it isn't the path. I guess it comes down to, would your parents actually show up for you if you were hurt, if you were in pain? And do you stop them from doing so? That's a really deep space to kind of go into, because in this connection, that's what catches fire first. and leads to a lot of separation, leads to a lot of masks being worn, um, or hiding from, not telling the truth. A lot of those things happen because that's kind of what happens. I come on here to make sure you guys have that embedded somewhere inside of you, because in this connection, Sherry and I firmly believe that the more we have on this planet, in this world, of this connection, the more peace will start to happen. The more connection will actually heal where we are and why we are. I mean, if the whole world is supposed to be connected and we're all doing a piss poor job at it, why wouldn't we change and do something else? Well, it takes a lot of feeling to choose connection. But your thoughts have had all this practice. For many years, you've been able to think your way into problems, think your way out of problems, think your way into relationships, think your way out of relationships. Thought has dominated a feeling environment. And it's not fair. It's never going to be fair because we're all taught to think. And the teachings of thought make you believe that you can have connection or can't have connection. More thought has kind of been taught to not have connection than to actually have it. So we wanted to put something here where you could gravitate to find that place where that feeling matters more than your thoughts about it. And I don't know if we've done a great job. I just know that we don't see it anywhere else. So we wanted to create something that would do that. And I hope you guys do get something from this channel. I hope you get something from what we're sharing with you. And I hope it helps you know that you can connect here as well as anywhere else. So hope that can do that. I see that got some people here. That means that everyone can join regardless of gender. Yes, that is correct, Grant. Hi, Angie. It's good to see you. And hello, Teresa. Good to see you too. I'm glad you guys decided to join the chat today. Do you guys have anything? I'm still waiting, and I don't think Dio may be asleep because I know he's on the other side of the earth. Alice, I feel deeply we came to this life to be together. I don't have stories of how it's going to happen. I just feel it deeply when I wake up. I guess, Alice, what is your actual belief of what life is? Do you believe that life is birth and death, or do you believe that life is all of it? Because it's almost like we're trying to look for a consciousness of thought that says, I'll be with you, you'll be with me, instead of being like two balls of energies that just separate and then find themselves again. And they didn't question what the other person had been through, what the energy had gone through, what the energy experiences, why the energy has been with other energies. It doesn't do that. So if you look at that feeling to its depth, then when we all believe that we made a choice to be together, or we made a choice not to be together, I kind of look at it like how two pieces of energy connect. That energy doesn't have judgment. You get infected with judgment when you come into this experience between birth and death. You have judgments that tell you how to act, who to be, how to dress, how to talk, who to associate with, who not to associate with, so on and so forth. That energy itself, I believe, is why there's so many blocks to get there. Because if you could just be in energy and be with the energy you were meant to be with, you wouldn't have the judgment to attach you or make you run from that energy. You would just gravitate towards it and not question it. But of course, we've got to have our values. Connection doesn't know what value is any more than it knows deserve, any more than it knows what love is or isn't. It just is. So what do you accept about connection beyond what you think? Do you let people connect to how you feel? Do you let people connect to what you think? Are you afraid to share that? Do you feel like you're too much or not enough? I mean, all of these are all of the infections of judgment. That's what judgment leads to. That's what judgment causes. There's a lot of times where you can feel the connection itself, but then thoughts arise to tell you what that feeling represents or what that feeling actually is. But you don't let yourself, you literally focus more on being right about what it is than you actually focus on what the feeling is trying to bring out of you. And that's confusing. It's confusing because you didn't want to learn that. You didn't come into this world to learn that. You came into this world to suffer from it. And that suffering is one of the things that continues to keep connection elusive for the most part. Hey, Omar, how's it going? Looks like Omar's joining. Can you hear me? Let's see if Omar has a voice yet. My man.
What's going on?
Oh, just staying connected, trying to stay connected to that woman who is just like my air, my breath, my heartbeat, my soul. And, she's strong.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what's so beautiful about her is how vulnerable she can be in that strength. She's been going through it, man, but she's determined to stay here and stay connected to me. And I don't even know why.
You don't know why?
I'm baffled, dude. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, thank God she chose that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know it's a pure connection when somebody will stay in that kind of pain just to stay with you. You know what I mean? And, I think what's beautiful about it is she doesn't hide it, and I don't hide mine. So how's Omar doing?
Omar is staying connected to self. Staying open and staying open.
Yeah, is that allowing everybody to connect to you?
Yeah, I'm letting people connect to me, and it's like people connected, then they, I don't know, disconnect. Bless you. Bless you. You got 15 more minutes.
So what do you do when they disconnect, bro?
I fight with my ego.
Always fun. Today we wanted to have a masculine experience where we talked about this twin flame connection, right? Because I feel like there's this big piece missing of what that experience is like if you carry the masculine energy more than you carry the feminine, right? Mm-hmm. There's like this disconnect that happens. And it's not like we're not human and we can't connect, or we don't want connect or need it. But there's a space there where we're not allowed to have feelings in that space. Now, that was my experience at the very beginning, was I'm not allowed to feel all kinds of ways about this woman because she'll destroy me, right? It'll hurt. I ain't trying to get hurt like that. I'm going to try to keep going and keep moving.
Right.
But then there's something in this connection that tells you can have it or you can't.
Yeah. Because with my twin, I haven't had no kind of information or heard from her. the last time was December when I had sent her an email asking her, to listen to this song. You understand? She responded, "I don't give a flying fuck." Yo,
Wow.
she said, "I don't give a flying fuck about what she say? I don't give a flying fuck about the song or this and that and the other. Go find somebody else to fall in love with this and that and the other." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But this message was sent on the 5th of December. I didn't see, bless you, I didn't see her return. She returned it. She replied to it that early morning. When she replied to it, that's what she got. But I looked for it. I didn't see it. You understand?
Yeah.
So on the 19th of December, I was talking to Corey, and I was explaining something to her, and some said, "Check your email," and I checked my email, and there was her response. And I'm like, wow. I said, "Why did it pop up now?" When I was looking for it the 5th, the 6th, I looked for the 6th, I looked for it 2 other times in my emails, and it never was there. I never could see it. So I was like, this is odd. So I read the message, and what happened was I didn't even get mad when she was like, she don't give a flying fuck about about.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but
No, it's funny. You understand? But that's when I realized right then and there, she is not used to the love that I was showing her or putting out to her. She wasn't believing in love, period.
Did she tell you that?
No, that's what. Hold on. The email told me that. She said, "I don't give a fuck about." The email, I laugh, but yo, I'm gonna tell you. Hold up, let me see. Okay, sent. Oh yeah, this was the 12/5. Okay, I had sent her. I told her to watch Eric Robinson Lessons remix featuring Anthony Hamilton, Raheem DeVoe, and Kevin Ross.
Nice.
Okay, and so you know the song.
Yes.
Okay, so I sent that to her, and this was her reply: Stop emailing me. Stop calling. I do not give a flying fuck about any of that bullshit. Go fall in love with someone who loves you back. I told you once before, it is a form of harassment. I will be forwarding all your interactions. Leave me alone. I left her alone. You heard?
Yeah.
She said, "I don't give a flying." She said about any of the bullshit. It was about stop calling me. I just like I said, I wasn't even in my feelings when I read that. I was like, daggone. What got me was what made me understand when the light bulb popped off in my head was she don't give a flying fuck about any of all that bullshit. So the song speaks for itself. You understand? She don't know nothing about love. Yo, the umbrella's right there on the side of the door. If it's still, it's not raining. So right there. So this was on the 5th. I didn't see this until the 19th. So on the 19th, after talking to Corey, I just chilled. Oh well, this is what it is. I can't force myself on somebody that's not open or just still closed off about what it is. When we was in connection, it was all fine and dandy, but now she don't give a fuck because she think love is bullshit because everybody that she was in love with or everybody that she gave her love to from a mother, father, brothers, sisters. No, she ain't got no sister. She had a sister past. Whatever. Gave them her ass. Their ass. You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I was like, I'm gonna stay open. I'm not gonna close off. I'm not gonna be like, oh, boo hoo 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 hoo.
Right.
So I stayed open. I prayed on it. Um, and the universe has got a way of showing you shit. I swear for God.
Yes.
Cause um
Yes, it does.
um like the 19th to 20th was in the morning. The 21st, somebody I've known for a long time just popped in. Like just popped in. And I've been told on a few occasions that somebody's gonna come in. But they've
Mm.
been waiting, but you're too closed off, you're not open. So after I read that, I was like, okay, it's not, that's when I realized it's really not me. It's not me. I'm not at fault. I do work. I'm still working on myself. I'm a continuously work in progress. I'm not just, I got it figured out because every time you figure it out, universe show you something else. So this young lady popped in, you know, felt the same energy that I felt from my twin.
Mm.
I was like, wow, this is not possible. You know, this is okay. This is what I'm saying. This is the ego I'm fighting with. This is what I said when I be fighting with my ego.
Right.
This is not possible. And then I was like, nah, it is possible because I'm open. When you open yourself to connections, connections come in. When you connect it to self, the connections come in. It's just you got to stay connected. So this one is a bumpy ride too. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Why is
um,
it bumpy? Why is it bumpy?
you remember when we talked a while ago, a long time ago, and I told you that I always attract the broken ones,
Mm. Yep.
and, and it's like this young lady just opened up to me about everything, her life story, what she went through, this and that and the other, telling me stuff that she ain't never told nobody, and I've known her for a long, long time. I just
Right.
never looked at her like that.
Mm.
You understand? I never. She's pretty and all that. But I never looked at her like that.
Mm.
Like she told me that she always wanted to be with me, and I was like, because the funny thing is, I was like, yo, why all of a sudden that you telling me this now that you want to be with me? And she said, well, it was, I just felt like it was the time, and I was like, it's like the universe is just on some real shit here, but I understood where it's coming from. You
Mm.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. And then a lot of things was coming back to me that was told to me
Mm.
about somebody trying to come in. However, you're blocked off. You're blocking everything off because you're still everything is closed off to everybody but her, to my
Mm.
twin.
Okay.
You know. So once I realized that I'm connected to her, I can't force her. I can just stay open and let her come to the conclusions of what it may be or what it may not be. I just let it go. Not like let it go like boom, it's not there, but I just, I can't jump on and be like, yo, you're gonna love me, this and that and the other. I can't do that. You
Mm.
understand? My love is still there. My love is unconditionally with her. However, I'm living my life. But just like I said, the universe always throws a curve in. Like, yeah, you're gonna live your life, but here, take this while you living your life. So I was throwing another individual with similar issues that
Mm.
my twin went through.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yeah. What do you accept about the issue?
What I accepted it for what it is, because I can't do nothing about the past or what she went through. I
Mm.
can just be there and be open to understand what she went through. And that's what I have been with her. And I think me being the open individual also scares her too.
Does what you're saying sound like you have a wall up?
Who, me?
Yep.
I don't have a wall up. I ain't even got a wall up. Um, I'm still fighting with my ego. It's not a wall up because I let myself go. You understand? Situations that she do with me, I'll be like, man, listen, I get ready to go backtrack.
Mm.
Then I'll be like, no, what is you doing? You got to
And
stay open.
your
Huh?
ego, your ego has a very strong belief that you attract broken connections. And would you say that you're giving it power or you're taking away power?
No, I'm taking it away power because in a sense, with what I say broken, I don't mean like how can I say
They,
it's like
they've been hurt a
yes,
lot.
they've been hurt
Right,
a lot, a
right,
lot.
right.
Um,
Do you think they're reflecting something back to you?
yeah, that I've been hurt.
Yeah, yeah. And what have you ever let anybody love you when you've been that hurt?
I haven't let nobody love me when I'm
So
hurt.
let me make sure that I heard you correctly when you said you were connected to yourself. Because to be
No,
connected to be
no,
connected to yourself, you'd have to ask yourself, do I let people love me when I'm in pain and when I'm in hurt? Right. So
yes,
when you said she's been through a lot of things in the past and you understand, understanding creates a wall. But then saying, you know what? Was anybody there for how you felt? And if she would have looked at you and said, no, say, not anymore. I want you to feel like all of the stuff that you went through and all of the pain and the hurt that you went through, I accept that. Because when has somebody done that for you? And isn't that what you were reaching out to her on December 5th for? It's what the music was about. Acceptance.
right.
And when have you ever let anybody accept you when you're hurting and in pain?
I have been doing that with this young person. I have been accepting it, letting her. It's like she's telling me these things. Um,
Is that connection to you?
yeah, and yeah, it is because she's telling me. Okay, put it like this. This is where she's telling me, and also, but however, she's not showing me the way I want her to show me, and that's
Oh,
That's why I have the issue with the way I want her to show me and it's like it's not what I want her to show me is how she's know how to give it herself. So I'm learning that with
so
it's not what I want, but
right.
she is.
I have a question about that.
Mhm.
If it's not the way you want, how do you have connection to yourself? Because the only reason I'm pointing that out is because if you were standing there now, it would be showing you pointing at the door, the little tiny door that you created in the universe on December 5th, said, walk through this door and we could be together. And now you have somebody in front of you and you're still saying, you got to come through that tiny little door that I made for her for you to come through. And she's like, but you were open. If I have to walk through that door, that means you're closed. And I have to accept that you're going to be closed. Omar, open up. I mean, what have you got to lose?
My goddamn mind. No,
Well,
I ain't got nothing to lose.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and you know what? We will throw a fucking party if you lose your mind. Because losing your mind is how you have the connection, not keeping it. Because this connection will make you want to lose your mind, but you're afraid to lose it because you don't know who you'll become. Right. And I'm proof that you can become something greater than what you actually believed you could be. Right. I didn't know I could be like, and you know, it was interesting because I saw this, somebody sent this thing to me that showed 8 men who are spiritually aware. One of the number one things that happened to men who are spiritually aware is the friends they had before, they don't have anymore. Right. You lose those friends immediately, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's something about you they can't connect to anymore because now you're connected to yourself. And if you notice, when you're connected to yourself, everybody around you changes. Right. Right. Yes, so definitely. You've been staying open and this girl comes along. She shares her truth. She shares that she wants to be with you. And you're like, I'm not going to accept you until you become what I want you to be. And what kind of sense does that make to connection? It don't make no sense. And it's funny because it's like, welcome to the twin flame journey. Yeah, I know it. Just like I said, I've been on it for a little bit of time. But you should probably be realizing at this point, do I accept what doesn't make sense? Yeah, I do. I do. I accept it. So, you know why I accept it? It's because it's and how it comes. It's what I put out there that comes back to me. However, when I say however, it's strange, man. This connection thing is strange. It's new. It's strange. It's something that. Do you believe you can have it if you don't share your pain? Yes and no. And I say yes and no because I have shared my pain. And then I get mad because I shared my pain. So like, does it sound like you've accepted your pain? Me personally, I'm just I'm just realizing I really haven't gotten over the pain that my twin put me through. What about the pain that your parents put you through? When have you gotten over that? I've got over that when I accepted them for what it is, because both my parents is deceased. So I look at them as, understanding, not even understanding that we was connected in a way that of their understanding, not of my understanding, because I'm a product of them. Right. And you felt you feel like they accepted connection to you if you became what they wanted you to be.
No, because with my father, I don't know, but my mother never wanted me to be anything other than self.
Okay.
You know?
And how did your mom support your connection to your father?
Oh, she kicked him to the curb because my father was
So
a
just to clarify, a woman you're connected to kicked the man you're connected to the curb. And that
no,
happened to you just on December 5th.
no.
It's the
She
same thing.
kicked him. It's like this. Let me put. I think
Is it not the same?
when it comes to this, when it comes to this twin flame journey thing,
Yeah.
I feel that my mother and father was like that. Was like, however, because they have went through a lot of situations where everybody was trying to break them up.
Mm.
Because his mother didn't want, you know, my father's mother didn't want my, I'm learning all this stuff, like,
Right.
and they was together, regards got married and all this other stuff. And then my father was a dog. You understand? He did a lot of things when my mother stayed there for him, that he did something that my mother couldn't accept that he did to her.
So
So
your father,
this is
your masculine design
mhm.
got disconnected from the woman you're connected to because
I
of
don't know.
his actions, because of things he did.
Yeah.
Okay. With your twin, how did she accept you being loyal and faithful and wanting to love her? Were you that way to her?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
But in the back of your mind, were you more like your mother and she was like your father? Yeah, you can see it, right?
No, because
If it's here's one thing I know for sure. The twin flame connection is about the word connection and what you've experienced in it. And one thing that we've been able to trace back is that things start to repeat. Even in your early relationships, you repeat the kind of relationships that you were exposed to, because it's like you have that monkey mind. You want to repeat what you see and do what you see, and not even understanding the reason why. So let's say, for example, your twin was in the masculine and did things that hurt you. And you kept sticking around and kept showing up until they had to literally get downright nasty to you. And then that was it, for free. So you knew how to be without someone you're connected to. You grew up that way, didn't you? I mean, how did you have a connection to your father again?
Oh, we got a connection after when I got older.
Right. But in the infancy and early teen era, how did you receive love from your father?
I didn't, because he wasn't around.
Okay. So, and that hurt you. So when you finally did sit with him, how did you let him connect to the boy who didn't have it?
I don't know how I just let it be, but I just was in the frame of mind of it's what it is. I didn't hold nothing. We talked. I didn't hold nothing against him. I didn't be like, oh, why you do this or why you leave. Me personally, I never, like I said, a lot of the stuff that I'm knowing about my parents, I was never in their business. I really didn't really care, to tell you the truth.
Perfect.
I didn't care what they, that was their life. You understand?
Right. Absolutely. So
when
I'm going to show you, I believe that's important to show you a wound that is happening in your connection. The wound would be this. the space where you separated yourself and kept yourself out of their bullshit, your twin felt and said out loud to you as a product of them. Do you see it? You got to let yourself feel it. On the inside, if she's connected to you to the depth of where you were just speaking from, you learned how not to care about people you're connected to or wrap yourself in their bullshit. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So the you that went through that jumped inside of your twin's body and said that shit to you. You accept that? Because the you that went through it did feel some kind of way about it, and nobody ever asked him how he felt. But if you have a true connection to her, and she has a true connection to you, she would feel that you know how to disassociate and disconnect yourself from people you're connected to because of their bullshit. Do you see how that worked?
Yeah. Because she was a bullshitter.
And you know what, Omar? I'm going to help you heal the shit out of that because I found mine too. But it's not easy because this told you that you didn't need to be a part of that, where this told you that's what you were about. Half of your heart came from him and half of your heart came from her, and how they treated each other did affect you. Because you deserve two people who should have loved each other and loved you, so you would know that you came from connection. Why would you trust connection if that didn't happen? And that's not even to the deepest part. That's just the surface. What you really want to say to your twin doesn't need to come from words in a song. It needs to come from the boy that got hurt by connection. And now you have a girl standing in front of you, sharing the same thing, to see if you'll open him up and let him talk to her. I mean, why don't you let yourself have connection just to see who you would become?
I am. And I'm not.
The you that says I'm not, do you actually accept him?
Do I actually accept me?
No, the you that says I'm not, do you accept him? Because it sounds like the same fight. It sounds like the same fight your parents had.
No, I don't accept him. And you know why I don't accept him? Because just like I said, I be fighting with that person that I am not person. And when I'm fighting with that person, it's like I do, like, cause I be fighting, like, okay, the other, I'm gonna say, when I tell myself, basically, this is when I'm going through the riffraff between each other. You understand?
Yeah.
When I tell my that I don't, the one that don't care that we connected, shut the fuck up. It's like it sends a calm over me. Like,
yeah,
okay, you are connected. So,
what somebody disconnected from you is connection to you because of what you've been through.
No, what it is when I feel when the don't and the do, which is me connected and me not connected.
Right.
Okay, to me that's not connected. wants to run in and be like, this is what you're gonna get, this is how it is, this is what it is, you know. Just accept that. And the connected part of me be like, no, that's not true. I am connected. I'm open. And then the other person be like, no, you're not open. And
Right.
I have that dialogue. And the
what
dialogue.
what does being open to you mean?
Being open to me is just allowing the individual to come in the way they coming in, to not put boundaries or don't put how can I say understand, not putting what they went through. It's like hard to really explain, but
Well,
it's like not allowing, not
I've got a good way to explain it.
yeah, explain it.
Your experience of being open means that a man who wasn't a part of your life your whole life can come into it and you not say anything. Not have any feelings.
Say that again.
Being open to you is opening up and letting a man you're connected to walk into your life without explaining or even asking you how you felt about him not being there. Not acknowledging your feelings is being open to you. Does your father love you?
Yeah. He showed me.
He loved you while being absent. So you're used to having a love and connection and them being absent. That affected you. Do you get that?
Excuse me.
No,
Not
no.
really. I'm trying to.
Your mind won't let you feel. Your feeling will let your mind get away. So pay attention to how that feels. Knowing that a man you're connected to came in, looked you in the eyes, and acted like he wasn't gone that whole time. And you were okay with that. So how did you trust him?
No, I didn't say I was okay with.
How did you tell him you weren't okay?
I didn't say, because like I said, I never discussed it, nothing. I didn't say I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Always was something in the back of my head that wondered why, but at the same time, the person that I have become was numb to all of it. So
Right.
it was never something that was on my mind or came to mind when we were together, or the times we were together, and the times we I looked at him like one of my homies. You understand?
Yeah.
So it was never, like I could say, it was always there, but I never brought it to the forefront of what, why, your dad, why, why you do what you did, why you treated mom the way you treated her, this and that and the other. I never asked him questions.
If you could ask your father one question about all of it, what would you ask him?
What would I ask him?
Yeah. If you could ask him one question that you could have an answer to, what would it be?
I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't know.
You wouldn't ask him, why didn't you at least stay connected to me?
I don't know. Because this is also showing me how can he be connected to me when he wasn't connected to himself.
Right
You
there.
understand? So,
There. Perfect.
so why would that question be?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you be connected? Why wouldn't you stay connected to me when he wasn't even connected to himself? So
Right.
I couldn't. That question will be going into a black hole.
Now, imagine this. You just spoke what your twin experiences with you, word for word.
I just spoke with my.
And 9 times out of 10, you heal that space. You change the connection. The space you spoke from was, why would he connect to me if he wasn't connected to himself?
Right.
Okay. You just said the exact words your twin says to themselves without even realizing it. How do I know? Where did you learn to trust that connection would be there for you?
No, and just by just listening to you say it's, and I understand that.
Right. But
And
I'm talking about your actual feelings, somebody being
no,
there.
that's what I'm saying. I
Right?
feel it. That's why I said. That's why I understand it. Like I told you before, I feel things. So by hearing you say it, not me say it, by hearing you say it, I
Yeah.
felt it like, and I felt her saying it to me. I didn't feel you. It was like, okay, that's what I got. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, that's understandable.
But what you can look at is growing up, you did have mom, right? Mom was there. And mom knew that half of you was missing.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I spent time with my mom's and a lot of my time with my mom's mother.
Right.
You understand? So my grandmother,
So let me make sure I got this right. So you can hear it out loud. You had a space where you had a woman you're directly connected to, and then you had another woman you're connected to show up. We lost Omar, but everybody else heard that too. The same triangle in connection showed up in connection. Another woman who was disconnected from, I don't think I need to explain it. I think you guys got it. This triangle, the very one that showed up with the blue orbs, is the connection. And it seems to be repeating just about everywhere. But I want to make sure that Omar captured that. So Omar, I want to make sure I say this to you so you can hear it. You're used to having a direct connection to a woman you're connected to, then another woman you're connected to show up. Did you hear yourself say that? And then you got kicked off. So that should have told you right there, how is what you're going through right now, where you have a woman you're directly connected to, and then another woman shows up. How was this person not standing in place of your grandmother, your mother, and then you? You are the variable that is the same in all of it. How are you allowing them to connect to you is the question. Without any rules, without any judgments, how do you let them show up for your hurt and your pain? How did you let grandma show up? How did you let mom show up?
just being with my grandmother, just being in her presence was good enough for me.
So you had that, this new girl who came into your life who's sharing everything she went through.
Yeah.
You do see how you're repeating what happened to you in connection is following you in this connection. And you have the choice to change it. And you can. All you got to do is start sharing how you feel. Not what you've been given, not what's been done to you, but what it did to you. How do you trust connection? You trust that it'll be absent or be there and not acknowledge how you feel.
Yeah.
And some
That's yeah.
you're allowed to change that. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, I do realize that. Just like I said, this is an ongoing process.
Well, I would tell you, just like your twin would tell you, fuck the process. And I'm going to say it again. This processes, this beats. This processes, this beats. Which one should you choose for connection?
The one that beats.
So fuck the process. Be screwed up. Be okay with your faults. Be okay with being hurt. Be okay with your pain. Because how are they going to connect to you otherwise?
And by you saying that and me going through our little squabbles, this female, she is understanding. Like, she gets on my nerves because she always talk about, I'm sorry. Because I do explain to her in short and vindictive, because I'm a vindictive person when I can, oh my God, I know how to hurt you by words or the lack of words.
Right. Do you like that part of yourself?
I accept that part of myself. It's not about liking. I accept that part of myself. Okay.
Is that part of you that's able to do that allow connection?
That's the whole thing. When that part raises its head, I let it be known. I feel. When I talk to her, and sometimes I think I over explain, or if I feel like this is me, if I feel that she's not comprehending what I'm saying, it raises its head more. Because it's like, why don't you comprehend? And this goes back to me growing up when I wanted everybody to be like me. Why didn't people have the common sense, or why didn't people comprehend? Why didn't people have common sense? Why didn't individuals move the way I move in common sense ways? And that's a part I know this is there. So I feel the pain. And then I just let it just subside.
And who's allowed to be?
Huh?
Who's allowed to be there when you do that?
Who's allowed to be there?
When you go through that pain.
Oh, this female be there. However, the way our situations.
You allow her to be there for your pain?
Have I? Yeah, I have. But then again, it's like we in the same put it like this, in the same county. However, it's like she has trust issues also. She says she's working on herself.
Does she need to work on herself? Or do you accept her how she is?
Do I accept her as she is?
Yep.
Yes and no.
Did you notice you didn't say yes and then leave it alone?
Hmm?
Did you notice you didn't just say yes? Did you notice that?
Yeah. There's
That is,
certain things.
that is the consciousness of connection. When you put yes and no, what do you have to connect to? Where's the space for you to connect and really show up in the yes and the no that you have? Is that possible to have a yes and a no and connect?
No, it's not possible.
All right.
But however, when I say yes and no,
That's saying you're decisive or you're not. You're connected or you're disconnected.
it's situations that I'm scared for this individual because of the things that she told me about herself, which she went through.
What are you scared of? You're hurt already. What do you have to be scared of?
No, because what I'm scared of me personally.
Yeah.
I'm scared for her.
Does she want you to be scared for her?
I don't know.
You didn't ask her?
No.
But you're going to be scared for her anyway.
I'm scared for her because of the situations that she went through and what I have experienced with other individuals. Yeah. That's why I said, when I say the universe, I'm speaking in codes because I don't want to throw too much out there.
I get it.
And it's like what I've seen.
I want you to let this girl connect to you. And I want you to connect to her because you need that. Maybe your grandmother's message will come through to you. You were born for connection.
Yes, I know.
But you're resisting it. Your yes and no's.
But the yes and no is retarded because
no, not retarded. Your yes and
no.
No,
it's not. It's like this. She makes me feel the way my twin makes me feel. When I realized I was connected to her and I understand the connection, what I said, what the no is indecisive of if the connection is really real. You understand? That's where I'm coming at with this one too. And then, like I said, I fight myself with that too because it is real because I feel it. It's not because what I think, it's what I feel.
Is your pain real? Is your hurt real?
Hell yeah. My pain and all that is real.
Know that those are connection points. Mm-hmm. Without pain, without your hurt, who can connect to you? Childbirth happens that way. Why can't you have connection that way? It was meant to be. Pain and connection are thresholds, one of which will change you. I guess you'll have to decide whether you want to share your pain and let her connect to it without doing anything other than holding you in it and not pushing you away or telling you you're wrong. I mean, how can you have connection without that? You're welcome. I know I do have to go, but I want you to pay attention to that. And yes, we're going to talk soon because I think we probably need to do more of these. Today, my whole purpose of coming on today was so there's a voice that they can find. And you have that voice, Omar. I believe men all have this voice because things are not as black and white as they seem. There is this large gray area of why we don't trust connection. And I believe it's not just men that have it. I believe women have it just as much as men. I don't think that there's a way to actually balance it, but there is a way to start finding a way to balance it by
Yeah.
no longer suppressing our feelings. So thank you all for joining us today. Looks like Corey did join us. I see Divine Spirit is in here. Hi, Lee. I feel more connected to my twin when we're not in communication. This is making so much sense. Thank you. Can you put both of you on the same screen? I'm sorry, Corey. I didn't look down because when he got booted, he came back in. Thank you guys for joining us today. Omar, I'll message you and let's do this again probably next Wednesday if you feel up to it.
Yes, I ain't got no problem with that.
You want some homework?
Yeah, give me some homework.
Share with her your pain of not having connection and why you need it.
Share with her. I got you.
All right. Okay. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video. I believe there's going to be a lot more to come. And thank you, Omar, for joining.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
See you soon, bro. See you guys.